You need a chemist to mix the gas. This you'll see has an outside starter. It's made specifically for racing, and the combination between the driver and the car, the balance tilted so much so that the car was really the deciding factor. And these are not fun to drive. As a matter of fact, you'll see that when we take this car around, that it wants to go 80 miles an hour in first gear, and then it goes on like that. I did mention the name, and we're just about finished. I did mention one name, though, and that's the name of George Winterstein. We're lucky to have a driver who really made a name for himself in the 60s racing, and he happened to be kind of a local boy around the periphery of Philadelphia. George is here with his wife, Gretchen, who's always with him no matter where they go. And I don't know what he calls his heyday, but in my opinion, his heyday was when he drove that exact car in Nassau, did very well, Watkins Glen, and made a name for himself in USRRC, as well as in sports car racing. The trouble that with all of this goes back to that story again. By the time the car got out of General Motors, and by the time it could get into racing, even though it was made, George, in 63, by 1965, it already had been a little bit of an old car, because the cars that were winning Le Mans, like the Ferrari LMs, were all mid-engine cars. They had different technology, and it was hard for a car that old, believe it or not, 3 years old. It was hard for a car that old to actually be competitive.